from the bottom of my heart and from my entire family, the Tabalanza family. We thank Chrissy Bowles for her hard work for the entire 5 years. Her dedication and in her entire team to work on this case. I can't take them enough.
The 5.5-year saga of missing Chula Vista mother Maya Millete reaches its dramatic conclusion in a South Bay courtroom as jurors find her husband, Larry Millete, guilty of first-degree murder. Thanks for joining us at 6 a.m. I'm Eric Connors.
And I'm Neda Iranpour. And this morning we are hearing from those inside the courtroom during that verdict reading. Jurors found Millete guilty of first-degree murder after just 6 hours of deliberation.
News 8's Tori Apodaca live outside the South Bay courthouse now with more on what led up to this big decision here. Tori?
That's right. This trial really has just been emotional from start to finish. The jurors saying that even though Maya Millete's body has never been found, their decision really came down to all of the circumstantial evidence. We heard from Maya Millete's sister after the trial, as well as a juror. Listen.
This probably have been served today, but we still have my sister out there. We still have a second step to go through. We still have to bring my sister home, to bring her to her 3 children that's been waiting for her for 5 years.
I think he's a master manipulator. I think he's very good at what he does. And I think that he may have thought that he could get away with this too.
And that was Maya's sister, who you first heard from, who was begging for this trial to happen. Of course, feeling a sense of justice finally, but still wanting to bring Maya home. And then one of the jurors who says it was a unanimous decision, roughly 6 hours of deliberation. More than 5 years since Maya, the Chula Vista mom of 3, went missing in January of 2021. And then this trial lasted around 8 weeks after years of delays. There were more than 60 witnesses, the jury of 12 made up of 7 women and 5 men, finding Larry Millete guilty of first-degree murder, meaning it was premeditated. Throughout the trial, Larry Millete himself never took the stand, but his defense team painted a picture that he was the victim in this. Lead prosecutor, though, Chrissy Bowles, says that while the verdict is significant, it is critical to keep in mind that Maya remains missing. And that's the same sentiment that, of course, Maya's family has been telling us. They were inside that packed courtroom, all wearing green, which is Maya's favorite color. The next step in this will be Larry Millete's sentencing. Reporting live from outside the South Bay courthouse, Tori Apodaca, News 8.
And this was a rare no-body murder prosecution, and jurors relied on circumstantial and digital evidence.
We are hearing more from a juror who says they only had to decide if Larry killed Maya, not how it happened.
Where there was no body, we never saw anything come out of the house. We were convinced she didn't go out of the back fence, the black wrought iron fence. Sure. And there was no evidence that she came out the front door, went to the side, to the right or left. There was cameras. Zero evidence of her ever leaving, except for on January the 8th at 6:30-ish in the morning, when he backs that out, starts at 6:01, it's all there in the record, and then he pulls away and he's gone for approximately 12 hours. We think he took her in that vehicle, the Lexus, and he knows where he's left her. As far as how exactly did he kill her, and we didn't have to come to a unanimous decision on how he actually did it.
Where do you think Maya is?
I think she is out in the desert. I think it's because it's familiar to him, to Maya, and I would think in a way to honor her, to put her in a place that she really enjoyed, in a place knowing the kids would go back with family members. That's where I would think.
Defense also pointed to the fact that Maya could have technically left on her own, that surveillance cameras in the neighborhood might not have captured that. I mean, she would have had to jump over her backyard fence and walk down a drainage ditch. Just unfathomable.
The defense started with that from day one on their opening, and theirs was she probably left over the back fence, and number 2, the affair. And that was their theme. And so, no, when we looked at that back fence and we saw the drainage, and then when the defense brought in their investigator and the prosecution said, did you do this at nighttime? Did you do this with, and he hadn't. And so to us on the jury, it's like, it's unreasonable. She would have never left her children. She would have never left her family. Never.
Okay, you heard from a juror right there on the reasoning behind their decision. As for Maya and Larry's 3 children, they are now in the custody of Maya's sister, Marie-Chris Droulet, who you heard from earlier here, after spending nearly 3 years in the custody of their paternal grandparents. Meantime, News 8's Jenny Day caught up with Larry Milliete's father as he left court.
Jesus was condemned by the world. Okay, just do your thing, okay?
Yeah.
The favor that I asked you, okay?
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, of course.
Just do your thing, okay?
Okay.
Jesus knows what is, okay? Love Jesus.
It has been more than 5 years since this case began with the initial report of Maya Milliete's disappearance. She was last heard from on January 7th of 2021, the day she made an appointment to meet with a divorce attorney. The day after, Larry went missing from the family home for more than 11 hours, telling family first that he was at work, then changed the story saying he went to the beach with his son. He would be called a person of interest in Maya's disappearance on July 22nd and arrested for her murder on October 19th of 2021. In January of 2023, Larry is ordered to stand trial after a 10-day preliminary hearing, with the trial finally starting this past May after years of delays. Here's what comes next in the case. Larry Millete is due back in court next month for a status conference. He's facing a sentence of 25 years to life in state prison. No sentencing date has been set as of yet. He still has an assault weapon possession charge that needs to be resolved first.
And we're going to have a lot more reaction here in just a few minutes. You can also watch extended coverage on the free CBS 8 app. It's on your phone or your TV.
6:07 on this Friday, the weekend on a lot of folks' minds. Now, how's it looking out there? Is that going to be the place to be? Actually, that's where we're going to be on Saturday, right there, right?
Oh, there we go.
Whole family heading out there.
Great.
Absolutely. I mean, the coastline is going to be the most comfortable place to be in the county for the weekend. We are going to be seeing temperatures slide a bit inland and everywhere east of the coast by a few degrees going into Saturday, Sunday, maybe even Monday, but it does seem like, broadly speaking, we are still going to be quite warm out there. We just maybe won't be in the heat advisory or extreme heat warning range as we are today. Those still apply to our mountains and deserts for this afternoon. Live look outside is beautiful. This is from Mount San Miguel facing east, looking at that sunrise, but you can still make out a layer of clouds that are with us, helping to keep us a little bit more mild for the morning stretch before they burn off and give us those warmer temperatures. Once the sun is up, it's no match for those clouds in most cases, and we tend to see that warm up take place really rapidly out east versus out along the coast, where those clouds can linger for the next 4 or 5 hours and help to keep things a little bit more mild. Almost 60s across the board there. Ramona's made it to the 90s for the last 3 consecutive days, above average yesterday by only 1 degree, but above average by 4 degrees on Wednesday. Going into next week, we'll start to watch for the increase in monsoonal moisture. Not only is that going to be felt in the form of humidity, but it also could manifest as a few showers off toward our mountains and deserts. That's what we're going to be watching for closely going into next week. But again, the emphasis here is that the mountains and deserts are where we see that biggest potential for those showers to come to fruition. The bulk of us are going to be seeing it in the form of humidity. So going into the weekend, you can see how that stays low. Our rain chance, our probability of precipitation, it climbs from Monday to 24%, starts to slide back down again Tuesday and Wednesday, and then climbs again for Thursday. So right now, Monday and Thursday seem to be the best days for that to come to fruition. But again, I wouldn't go out canceling plans because of it. Just keep it in mind that our mountains and deserts in particular are going to be most affected by that possibility. At least over the weekend, we get a little bit of an easing off of the heat. Julian, for example, 89 today and tomorrow, sliding down to 86 by Sunday. We saw 90s out in Julian, so 80s are a welcome sight. Same goes for Borrego Springs. We were peaking over the course of the last couple days around 115, 116. Today, 112. 108 by Saturday, 106 by Sunday. So along the coast, while that heat doesn't really cool down, it's not really heat to talk about, right? San Diego, for example, 73 today, and tomorrow 74 by Sunday. Really comfortable out there close to the coastline. Inland valleys like El Cajon could be in the mid-80s virtually every afternoon. Still cooler than where we were for the last couple days. 6:10 right now. Let's check in on traffic. Right now, drive times outside are not doing bad at all. 805 northbound is smooth. 5 northbound also smooth. Slowing down just a little bit on the Coronado Bridge from downtown into Coronado. Typical for people trying to get onto base as of this hour. Let's check in on your border wait times, where right now it is a 130-minute wait at the San Ysidro Port of Entry. Otay Mesa Port of Entry is going to also take you about 130 minutes in total. So both ports of entry are matching each other right now and will likely take about 2 hours, maybe just beyond 2 hours to get across.